If you saw my romance reads video 3 weeks ago and you're like, why does she look exactly like the outro from Romance Reads? It's because I'm starting this literally a second after I finished reading my Romance Reads. But that's just between you and I. No one else needs to know. No one else needs to know. So, if you guys remember the beginning of February, as always, we made my TBR for the month, or more like this month, I shared my TBR with you. We didn't really make it together. There was like 23 or some books on that, and that was embarrassing for me personally to be like, damn. That sucks. Or I guess it's embarrassing for me now because we're almost at the end of February. It is February 20th, and I have yet to read 10 books. I'm on like book 6. Okay, guys, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I really thought I was going to read like 15 books at least, and I haven't even hit the 10 mark. Given I got sick twice, but still, I really want to crank out more books. Like I really want to read. Like I just want to sit down and read a whole bunch. So that's what we're going to be doing today in this week's video. I do not know if you follow any of my other social media platforms, but I also have a business platform where I post YouTube videos every week as well. And one that I did on there recently for me, probably like a month ago for you, was spinning a wheel, and then that decided how many hours that I crocheted for a day. So that's what we're going to do with reading, because why not? Why not? The same rules that I did for that video, I'm going to roll over to this one. If you don't know the rules, don't worry, I'm going to catch you up. First off, most people number their wheels 1 through 8, 1 through 10. I am doing 1 through 6 because I'm a full-time college student and I still need time to make sure that I am getting an education. On top of that, this was kind of a rule I made up along the way, but sometimes I can't crochet. Or it's not crochet. Sometimes I can't read for 6 hours in a day. So if there's any time left over, I just roll it over to the new day, and we just make sure, or I make sure, that it doesn't go over at the end. That didn't happen last time. Hopefully it won't happen this time. We'll play it as it goes. Play it by ear, whatever they say. Whatever the people say. But yeah, that's the plan. We are going to spin a wheel, and that wheel is going to have a number, and that's how many hours I keep saying crochet. We read in a day. Wow, I really should not have filmed these videos back to back. I'm messing up my words. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to our wheel. If you are looking to do this for yourself, I use the website called Wheel of Names. It's like wheelofnames.com. I love it so much. I will use this wheel on what I want to do during the day. Like I'll put everything I need to do on it and then spin it, because sometimes I have a really hard time picking what I want to do first. This wheel is very handy dandy, very helpful. But I'm going to stop talking about this wheel, and we are going to get to actually spinning it and seeing how many hours we are going to read today. I don't have a preference for how many hours today because I really do want to read. I shouldn't have said that. Oh. That's actually really anticlimactic. I really thought we were going to roll 6. It's just an hour. I'm telling you right now, we're probably going to read more than an hour. Or at least I'm going to read more than an hour. You might not come with me. I haven't decided yet. But let me show you the book that we are going to start with, because I've already picked it out. This right here is The Language of Fire by Stephanie Hemphill. And this is what we're going to start with. I did actually start this last night. I am like 100 pages in. I don't know if you can see my bookmark right there. I'm like 100 pages in. And I'm very excited to continue reading this book. It is a retelling of Joan of Arc, but it's like in a poetry style, which I really like. Like it's literally just little blurbs, but it's not like hard to understand poetry. Like I read it at 3 o'clock in the morning last night, and I was completely comprehending this, like word for word. So there should be no issues on me knowing what I'm reading. So we are going to go read The Language of Fire for an hour, and I'll check back in with you, and we will go from there. With my hair like this, I kind of feel like either a history professor or an English teacher, and I don't know which, and I don't know if I'm mad about it. Hello everyone, happy Tuesday, welcome back to our wonderful wheel. I'm very excited to read today. The plan is to finish Language of Fire. I might end up reading a little bit more if our wheel only gives us like an hour, because I do want to finish it. We're almost there. We've got like 40% left according to Goodreads, and I'm very excited to dive in, finish the book, and move on. I don't know, you ever feel, if you are also a reader, do you ever get like the feeling where like you just want to read and read and read and read and read and read and read? That's what I'm feeling right now. Like I could sit down and just keep reading for like 3 years and I'd be happy. Probably not. I'd get bored somewhere in there, but like mentally I'm like, I can read forever. I'm vibing with this, you know? Anyways, let's do our wheel. Everybody say hi wheel. Hi wheel. Alrighty. We're gonna spin the wheel and we are gonna find out how much we're gonna read today. Yay! I'm gonna be so real with you. I don't even care if it's 6. I am just happy to be reading. Oh wait, I didn't actually mean it. Wheel. Well, it's 6. I didn't mean it. I didn't actually mean it. I mean, I did. Like, I can sit down and read for 6 hours. How much time is that? It's 11 right now. So 11 to 12, 12 to 1. I'm gonna be reading until 5 p.m. if I sit down and read it all now. Guys, are you so excited? I'm actually kind of excited. Is that weird? I'm a little bit worried, but I'm also really excited. I'm actually going to sit down and start reading now, and we are going to start with our wonderful book, The Language of Fire. In case you're wondering, this book is split into parts, and we are currently on part 5, and I think there's 8 parts, but I think the eighth part is like a chapter or like a one poem. Yeah, there's 8 parts. We're on part 5. I think there's like 500 pages in this book. Yeah, so this book has 476 pages and we're on page 276. So we literally have 200 pages left of this book and I am ready to go start it and see how far we get with our timer. Let's go read for 6 hours. Oh my god. Hello and good evening. Technically night. It's 12:30. So if you remember earlier, I said I was gonna go and read Joan of Arc when it was like the morning and the normal time, and I had to read from like, what was it, 11 to 5. Yeah, that didn't happen. Obviously we're here, but I did just finish Joan of Arc now. Joan of Arc retelling, Language of Fire. I just finished the Language of Fire. Joan of Arc retelling. I don't know about a rating yet. We'll reconvene in the morning. However, I still have, let me see if I can show this to you, 4 hours and 42 minutes left for reading today. However, it is 12:30 in the morning. So I am not going to pick up another physical book like I thought we were going to. I am, however, going to read the book that I am currently reading on my Kindle, which we haven't talked about yet, which is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. I started this last night. I am 2 chapters in, and we are just going to read this until I fall asleep. Literally until I fall asleep reading it. That's what I do with this book. Not in a rude way, just in it's a mindless romance kind of way. I am going to go read this, and I will reconvene with you in the morning when we see how much time is left on our timer for today, because I can't stay up until 5 a.m. reading. Sorry, I have a class at 8. So let's go dive into the world of A Touch of Darkness. Hello everybody, and good mythical morning. What is that from? That's from something, isn't it? The last clip that we talked was me sleep deprived at 12:30 in the morning, where we talked about how I finished The Language of Fire and I was going to move on to reading the book on my Kindle, A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. I did in fact read that book a little bit last night, and by a little bit, I mean 2 chapters before I fell asleep. Luckily, I was conscious enough to pause our timer before I went to bed. Yesterday was disappointing. From yesterday's 6-hour timer, we still have 4 hours and 10 minutes left. You know the saying, don't get too big for your boots, or he's too big for his boots. I was too big for my boots. I sat down at 11 to film the first clip for yesterday, like the first part. And I'm like, oh, I got plenty of time. I got distracted and didn't start reading until 10:30 at night. My fault. We're going to fix it today. So I know we still have to spin the wheel for today, but because our timer is at such a weird spot. I don't want to stop it and then add more time to it. So what we are going to do is finish the timer for yesterday first, and then we'll spin the wheel for how much we have to read today. I hope that makes sense. Now, the book that I was reading on my Kindle is not one that I actually want to read. Like, I want to read it, but I don't want to read it right now. I have these two books in my room, or I could go look elsewhere. I have Bad Blood, which I've already read, but there's the novella in the back, which I've been putting off forever. And then I have I Fell in Love with Hope. So it's either sad or series I'm mad at. Do you guys see why these books have been sitting in my room forever? Gosh. Listen, I told myself that if I want to pick up a new book from my stash, which is not in my room, I have to read one of these two. And honestly, I think it's time that I stop putting off 12 and that we read the novella. I don't want to read it. I have 4 hours of time to kill and I have a novella I don't want to read. So we're going to go start reading Bad Blood. Read 12, not Bad Blood. We're going to read the Let's go read. I know this is a weird spot to confer, but this is where my books are currently. So let's talk, shall we? I just finished reading 12, the novella. I don't know what I'm gonna do for a rating yet. I think I need to let myself sit on ratings more. That's something that I need to do personally as a growing human. So I think we're just gonna confer at the end of the video and talk about ratings for all the books that I've read. Because I haven't even rated The Language of Fire yet. So for yesterday's timer, we still have 2 hours and 27 minutes left, and then we have to roll it again for today. So we are gonna pick a book that is behind me. I don't know what we're gonna pick. Let me pick a couple out, and then we will pick one final one together. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna get options, and then we'll pick the final one together. I picked 3. Let's do a quick rundown, and then pick which one we're gonna read. First off is A Cursed Kiss. All that I know is that it's fantasy. It's a 4-book series, and I have the first 2 from the library. We have These Deadly Games, which is a mystery. I don't know what it's about. It just sounded good. I read the blurb on this one. Can't remember what it said, but I really want to read this one. And then we have Unsteady, which is a hockey romance. Honestly, a weird trilogy to pick. I'm kind of thinking not the romance, just because I don't think I'm personally in the mood for romance right now. Since we technically just did read a mystery, which was the novella, I think we are going to do the fantasy, A Kissed Curse. So let us go start this book and see how far we get with our 2 hours and 27 minutes. Oh boy. Hello. So despite my change in appearance, it is the same day, and I've yet to finish our timer from yesterday. I believe I have 50 minutes left. Yes, I have 50 minutes left, but we need to find a new book. My rule when reading books that I'm like, maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't, is I have to read at least the first 5 chapters, and I did for this one. I read the first 6. I was gonna give it 100 pages, but I'm at 70 pages, and I can't do it. I can. I understand the premise. I understand where it's coming from. I was actually really excited. Like, the premise sounded good because I actually read the back of the book, and after the first chapter I kind of knew what was happening. But the writing in this is really weird to me. I'm not vibing with it. I don't like it, so I'm gonna DNF it. Really disappointed because I was actually really excited for this one. But let us find a new book to read. Now, I know previously I didn't pick out another fantasy when I was picking books the first time, but when I started this, I was really in the mood for fantasy. So from my stack behind me, let me pull out my fantasies and we're gonna pick one. Okay, oddly enough, I only have 2 fantasies. I have The Pomegranate Gate or Silver in the Bone. Pomegranate Gate I was actually going to start after I finished A Touch of Darkness, because this was also on the Kindle, so I can read either the physical copy that I have or the one on the Kindle, just depending on what I want to do. So we're not going to do Pomegranate Gate. I can't even say the title. But we are going to go read Silver in the Bone. So let's go start Silver in the Bone. Oh my gosh, I can't say that title either. For the next 50-ish minutes, and then we'll reconvene to spin the wheel for today. Amazing. Hello and good morning. It's technically 12:30. So does that make it the morning or does that make it the night? I don't know. I really don't. Sorry, y'all were glitching out my computer. I had you on my screen and you were too powerful, so I had to move you. But I just finished our reading from yesterday. I am about 2 chapters into Silver in the Bone, and I have no thoughts. And I know 2 chapters doesn't sound like a lot, but there was also like one of those little introduction things that's like 7 years ago or whatever, and that was like 15 pages in itself, okay? Like I read like 40 pages, I think. 28 pages. But still, okay. I read. Like I said, I don't have any thoughts. The only thing is that introduction was like really freaking confusing. I'm like, what's going on? But I stuck it out, and when we hit chapter 1, we got more about like, I don't know if it's considered magic, but just like the supernatural part of the world and how it works. And I'm back up to speed now, so I'm having fun. You know, I know what's happening now. But we have reached the time where we get to spin our wheel again. Finally. Freaking, what are we spinning it for, Tuesday? We're spinning it for Tuesday. We're on day 1. Day 2. Guys, I don't even... That's embarrassing. Alrighty. Alright, here's our wheel. We're gonna spin it and see what we get. If I can spin it. There we go. I am humbly asking for something lower than 3. It's free. We got 3. That's actually not terrible. Seeing as it is already midnight, I'm going to tell you right now, we are not going to read all of that tonight. And I am going to put Silver in the Bone on hold for now. We are going to read A Touch of Darkness on my Kindle until I fall asleep. Do you see this running theme we have here? We reconvene at night and read one book on the Kindle, and then we'll read a different one in person during the day when it's light outside. I'm going to go read A Touch of Darkness. I'm on chapter 5. I don't know how far we're going to get. I don't know. We're gonna go read. And I'm excited. So let us go dive into the world of A Touch of Darkness again. I'm actually really excited to get back into this book. It's addicting as hell. You can really tell I slept in my braids last night. Okay. Hi. So good morning. First off, correcting myself. Yesterday, when we talked, pretty late at night, I think I said we were on day 2. We spin the wheel for day 3. The first day we got an hour, and so that one completely left my mind. But it is indeed Wednesday. Well, today's Thursday. Today's Thursday, but we still have reading to do for Wednesday. I'm trying here, okay? I'm trying, but that's what we're doing. We have a reading from yesterday left, which we'll talk about in a second, and then we have to spin the wheel for today. So let's get right into it. I'm actually really proud of myself. I read an hour before I fell asleep, so we have 2 hours and 7 minutes left on our timer for yesterday, which is not that bad at all. I'm kind of flipping back and forth between if I want to read my Kindle book or my physical book. I know I'm like, oh, it's the Kindle book at night and it's the other one to read it. Okay. Do I really want to sit down with this? Do I? I've been reading so many books with like really thick pages recently of like the physical books that I've been reading, and I thought when I picked this up that it was like 300 pages. It's almost 5. I severely underestimated how many pages were in this book. Now that's a really stupid reason to stop reading it, especially because I've already started, but it's that little thing in my mind that's like, it's a big book, you're gonna get bored. But I really do want to see where that storyline goes, so I think we are going to sit down with Silver in the Bone, at least until our 2 hours from yesterday is up. I think that'll be a good thing to do, because this book is actually split into parts. Can you tell? Those little lines are parts. So maybe we just read part 1. But yeah, it's already 10 and we have 2 hours from yesterday still. So let's go crack on reading before we end up reading until 3 a.m. again.
So I've only been reading this book for a half hour, but the plot is already picking up really fast, and I'm so intrigued on what's going to happen. Like there's so many little elements in the story, and I love it. Like I'm hooked. I'm hooked in the book. I still have an hour and a half of time left for yesterday before we even spin the wheel for today. But I'm loving this. I'm on chapter 5, and I'm fully enthralled. I love this book. I love this book so much. Oh my god.
I can't be bothered to hook my mic up, so excuse the background noise, but I'm still reading my book. I don't even know how much time is left on our timer. I think we have like 40 minutes left, but
There's a romance. I don't know if it's gonna be an actual romance, but it feels like romance. Like they're bantering back and forth, like they're supposed to be enemies, and like they keep like flirting, but not really. It's not like flirting. It's like enemies to lovers flirting. You know, like he calls her Bird. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. I want it to become something more. I want it to become something more. Okay, so obviously we just finished our reading for yesterday. This freaking book. Oh, I'm hooked. I'm literally hooked. I'm hooked so tight. To sum it up very quickly, what I've read so far, very high fantasy. They're going on a mission. We have this group of high end. No, that's not what we have this group of older teenagers who are going on this mission, and it's a mission for a relic that can break any curse, which is really exciting. I don't know what part you know and don't know going into this book. I didn't read the blurb. This book is split into parts, which we've already talked about, but after we spin our wheel, I'm gonna finish reading the first part of this book because I'm literally hooked that bad. It's 11:30 at night and I still have my lights on to read this freaking book. Like, that is how in-depth in this book I am. Like, I am loving it so much. So much. I really want to get back to reading this, so I'm going to pull up our little wheel and we are going to spin it for our second to final day for Thursday. Here he is, everyone's best friend. Let's spin it. I honestly don't even care how much time we get. I'm not finishing it all tonight. Oh, that's mean. Oh, that's really mean. Is that 5? I really gotta stop saying that I don't care how much time we get. I'm jinxing myself. Alrighty, let me pull up my clock app. We are obviously not reading all of this now, but here's our timer. If I were to read for 5 hours now, just in case you're curious, I would be reading until 4:20 in the morning. That's actually really funny. I'm not reading until, I'm telling you right now, not reading until 4:20 in the morning. I am gonna go read though. I don't know how long, but I am gonna finish part 1 of this and then I'm gonna read Touch of Darkness, our Kindle book. Alrighty, I'm gonna go crack on with reading and we will reconvene in the morning. Have a wonderful night.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you are doing absolutely wonderful. Let's talk books. I don't know how many chapters I read last night in our wonderful little bookie. In our wonderful little book. But we now have 3 hours and 50 minutes left of our timer. Yay, me. Oh my gosh. I accidentally hit stopwatch and I thought I reset it and I got panicked for a second, but we're fine. We're good. I have about an hour before my family needs to go run errands, so we are going to go read Silver in the Bone and then we will check in with each other after errands and talk about reading. Oh my god, I love this book. Oh my god. Good evening. It's 11:15. I haven't even looked at our timer since we read this morning. I don't even know how much I actually read. I look like a ghost. I don't remember what the timer said before, but our timer is now down to an hour and 56 minutes of time from yesterday. And I read this. Side note, I had an energy drink for the first time in like 4 days. I think it's getting to my nerve system a little bit. I can't stop bursting into laughter. Anyways. I'm gonna finish the timer for yesterday. And then we're gonna spin it again for today. I'm aware that means we'll talk again at 1 a.m. I don't wanna hear it. Listen. I don't even know what to say. I'm unwell. Oh, thought-wise? I don't really know. I don't think I'm actually comprehending what I'm reading. I'm just like looking at it. You know, like a picture book? Except I'm reading the picture book. But like I don't know what the pictures are telling me. Oh my god. Hello. Oh, that's really bright. Hello. And officially good morning. It's 1:30 or 1:15 in the morning. I apologize. I have to be quiet. We live in a townhouse, and I'm trying to be respectful to my neighbors. But we finally finished our reading for Thursday. And now that it's Saturday morning, let's see what we have to read for Friday. I do quickly just want to apologize that the timing got off. Just kind of happened, you know? Just kind of happened, but let's get our wheel and spin it for our final. Oh, and I also completely forgot to mention, can you tell I'm like really tired and have a tired brain? We switched what we were reading halfway through. I started with Silver in the Bone, and then I switched to our Kindle book, A Touch of Darkness. Dude, in both of these books, these motherfuckers need to kiss, okay? Just like fucking kiss. God. Anyways, wheel time. Here's our wheel. I'm gonna spin it now. I'm so excited. I really don't even know what I want. I don't even want to look. I don't want to look. I'm just gonna close my eyes. Does that say 4? What number is that? Oh, 3! That's not that bad. Okay, well then, I guess we're reading for 3 hours. That sure in hell is not gonna start now. Or, that sure in hell is not gonna get finished now. I am gonna go read. I'm gonna keep reading this book, I think. Yeah, I like the dark. But I'm gonna put this in dark mode. Because I'm tired of looking at light. So, we will reconvene in the morning on Saturday when we finish our Friday reading. I am so bad at making content, bro. What the hell? Hello and welcome to the last time that... Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Hello and welcome to the last time that we are going to confer in the morning. Very quick intermission. If you're wondering who this fluff bucket behind me is, that's Aslan. We call him Bubba's, and I don't know if he's going to stay. Sometimes he'll sit next to me when I film. I don't know if he's going to do it today. We'll see. He's a good boy. But let's talk books. So before we talk about yesterday's reading that I was doing at 3 a.m., let's talk about Thursdays. Quick little recap. This is Silver in the Bone, very high fantasy world. They're going on this mission to find a ring that can break curses. Okay? Loving this so much. I don't know what silly mood got into me last night, but I remember like just giggling at my phone when trying to film. That probably wasn't decipherable at all. And because okay. So apparently we're going for vlog style because he just laid down right where you were sitting. I apologize. Let's try this again. As I was trying to say, I'm not sure where I got cut off by Fluffer Nugget here, but it was feeling a little bit slow when I was reading it, and when I was just like in a weird mood. You know, like when you're up for a long period of time and then you just like get in a weird mood for like an hour or so. That's what I was going through. I can't really remember what I read, but like I know it well enough that I could continue reading once I got out of my giggly state. And I think that part that I was reading when I was in my hysterical mood was mostly just what I like to call blurb words. I don't know, not like the mission. It's not like the main thing, you know? It's just like side characters giving main characters information and stuff like that. And I was able to move on without that information, or at least the little knowledge that I gathered from that, I was still able to move forward, if that makes sense. I am loving that book. It just takes a lot of brain power. So after I read to chapter 22, I picked up our other book on my Kindle, A Touch of Darkness, which this is the book I was reading for Friday's reading that we were doing really really early in the morning Saturday, or late at night on Friday, depending on which way you look at it. Can you not eat that, please? I apologize that it keeps shaking. My cat is trying to eat my phone. Okay. Aslan. Apparently this is the Aslan show. Do you want to say hi? Like, what is this? Oh, you're done? Okay. He is such a silly goof, but we got 3 hours for our timer for Friday, and I read an hour and a half last night, which is quite good. But yes, let's go finish this book and have a wonderful time while doing it. Yay! Hello and welcome to the last time that we are going to confer about books in this video. Oh my gosh. So I finally sat down and finished Touch of Darkness, which I was actually reading on my Kindle, if you remember. But I do have a physical copy of this book, and I thought I would use it just for your viewing pleasure in this final clip. But I finished the book. I have 8 minutes left on your timer, but I'm just gonna let those 8 minutes go. I don't care that much, you know, like I'm okay with 8 minutes falling down the drain. But we did finish Touch of Darkness. Loved it. The characters were so sweet. I don't have anything negative to say about it, honestly. I went into this book with really low expectations because I have read 2 other books by this author before and I didn't like either of them, like, at all. Like, I think the highest one got a 2.5 and the other one got a 2, or maybe it was a 2.5 and a 3. But this one I did enjoy a lot. Did you catch my thing? I was about to tell you my rating, but then remembered that we're gonna do ratings at the end. So I have our beautiful stack of books here, and let's talk about ratings for this video if you are curious. I'm not going to go super in-depth for any of these books. If you are interested in any of my ratings or any more like in-depth reviews on the books, they are in our February wrap-up video because it's technically February for me. But with that being said, let's talk about overall feeling of books. The Language of Fire, which is the Joan of Arc retelling by Stephanie Hemphill. Still can't say her last name. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. Middle of the Run retelling. Nothing I hated about it, nothing I didn't dislike about it. The only thing is that there was a lot of names and I kind of got confused about characters a little bit. And sometimes it was a little bit slow. And sometimes I didn't really know what was happening. But that's just a me comprehension issue. I have that issue with every book that I read. We then went on to read the novella in here, 12, by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and it was just a quick, cute, not cute, but quick, cute, easy 150-page read of our characters when they're older in the case that they go to solve the FBI. It was sweet, it was cute, I didn't hate it, liked it more than the 4th book, liked it more than Bad Blood. Don't really know how I feel about the fact that I actually guessed the killer, like, it was like 2 pages before they revealed it, but still I'm like, I don't know who it is if the killer follows this track, right? I gave this one a 3 out of 5 as well. Then we picked up A Cursed Kiss by Jenny. Who the heck is this by? Jenny Hickman. I read about 75 pages of this and the writing was insufferable. I wasn't vibing with literally any of the characters. Were the 2 people who were obviously going to fall in love, did I like their banter and stuff? Yes, but it was just, to me, like the basic enemies to lovers plot. There wasn't anything super interesting about it, and I didn't feel the need to continue, so I DNF'd that book. So I don't have a rating on it. And then finally, we obviously have A Touch of Darkness, which I did read on my Kindle for the most part. I'm sorry if it's disappointing to you, but it's just what happened. I literally just talked about this book. Love the characters. They're so sweet. I don't have anything negative to say. I literally, even though this book for me, it's kind of a little bit of a bigger book. Actually, no, it was just they're like 350, and that's like what I normally read. Yeah. This was actually a little bit smaller. It was like 320. I didn't feel bored at any point in this book. Was I like, damn, I'm bored. Let's move on. Never. Never, 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 never. I liked everything that I was reading in here. The characters are witty. They're funny. I hated the characters who I was supposed to hate, and I like the characters I was supposed to like. It is literally a mindless romance. This is what I read, and I kept falling asleep to it for like 3 days before I actually sat down and finished it. Like, it's a really quick, easy romance. Cute. Love it. Would recommend. But yeah, those are my final thoughts, final reviews. Yay, reading. Love books.
Hi, editing page here. I don't have a microphone. I apologize. Just letting you know, this idiot right here didn't tell you the rating of the book. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Don't know why I didn't tell you that information, but I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Thank you guys so much for joining me this week. I hope that you guys had fun doing this. This was a lot of fun. I got a lot of reading done, which was my goal, and I'm really glad that I did that because I needed to get some reading done, and I'm really glad that I did. So, thank you for coming with me. I hope that you had fun. I had a lot of fun. This is kind of my redemption arc for my really bad romance reading video where we only read 3 books. That was really embarrassing, guys. That was really embarrassing for me. I don't want to talk about it, okay? I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful week. As always, if you have any book recommendations, things you want to see me do, challenges, let me know. I'm more than willing to add it to the roster of my content creation list. And yeah, thanks again for coming with me. Hope you had fun. And now I'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye.